Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Gray. I'm the principal here at Norman North High School. And just wanted to start off and say we really miss you guys. We're ready for life to get back to normal for all of us. But in the meantime, we are working really hard to prepare for upcoming virtual learning. And I know you have a lot of questions, so hopefully I can clear up some of those questions today. So I want to talk a little bit about our options that we are providing to all of our students for learning this year, and also about schedules. So I know students are anxiously awaiting to get their schedule for this upcoming school year. And our counselors are working very hard and as quickly as possible to get schedules finalized. So Infinite Campus and Parent Portal will be available starting the 20th for students to review their schedules. In the meantime, I want to address some of the confusion that is around the different options we have for this year. So as you remember, as we originally started moving towards upcoming school year, we had the option for traditional, we had the option for blended, and we also had the option for 100% virtual learning. The traditional, that looks like what we have all seen for many years now. Whenever we are in school and students can come in the building, those students that choose that traditional setting are coming into the building. The other option we have is blended, and blended is a mixture of those in-person classes, but then also may include some virtual learning. Now that virtual learning can look one of two ways. We have Edgenuity as a virtual option, and then we also have classes with some of our Norman Public Schools educators. We have multiple sections of a lot of our core classes available for the NPS educator classes, and are working as quickly as we can to schedule kids in those classes. We do not have all of our classes through the NPS educator virtual options, simply because we are limited by the number of students that we have in person and balancing all of those different sections. But we're working hard to provide those accommodations for everyone as much as possible. The final option we have is 100% virtual, and that can be met through Edgenuity and also through our NPS virtual educators. So I know everyone is seeing a lot of different schedules across the state of Oklahoma as districts are trying to decide what best fits their needs. And so in Norman, we have decided to start virtually with all of our students, and we are continuing to monitor the numbers in Cleveland County and very much in our local area to make that determination as to when it's going to be safe for us to return. And so every Friday, and many of you may have this information from the newsletter that our superintendent shared just a few days ago, you will notice that there is a link in that newsletter that talks a little bit more about the color coding system that we use here in the state of Oklahoma for COVID. There are levels such as green, yellow, orange level 1, orange level 2, and red. This is one of the data points that we look at on a weekly basis to help us determine when it will be safe for school to start taking place more in person. So a lot of work has gone into the schedule to really balance that time that we know students can really be actively engaged in front of the computer screen. If we were to set our schedule up in a way that our students were sitting in front of their computer screen for 6 hours a day, that would be really difficult for us all, and we know that it would be hard to stay engaged and focused that entire day. So one of the things we've done with our schedule is set it up so that you will have half of your classes on Monday, and then you have those same half of your classes on Thursday. Then you will have your other half on Tuesday, and then again on Friday. On Wednesday, we have set aside that entire day for essentially what Norman North knows as overtime. And all of our content area teachers have a specific time of day that they will be providing overtime for students if they have questions. That way there's no overlap and you can get help in all of your content areas. In addition, you'll notice that there is time before the school day starts, at the end of the school day, and also a few breaks and lunch built into the schedule. Teachers can use that time for some additional one-on-one or possible small group assistance if students reach out or the teacher feels like it is needed to help you be successful. 2 days during the week, we have time set aside for advisory. Now that will be a little different each week as we assess what our students need and information that we need to share. So on the first day of school, we will have advisory, and this year advisory is actually your first hour class. So we will be meeting with you during that time to make sure you can start learning all of those start of school things that we do traditionally each year. And then we also have another time set aside at the end of the week to touch base with students and any additional help or assistance we may need to provide at that time. You will also see in the schedule we have 2 times set aside for club meetings. We feel like this is really important at this time to help our students stay connected to activities as we hopefully work towards being able to come back in person as soon as it is safe to do so. So we want to provide time for you to be able to stay connected with those clubs. Before school starts, all of our students and family will receive information on how to access their Canvas account. Through our virtual classes, we will be utilizing mainly Google Meet, but we may have some other formats that would be more appropriate for the specific content area that teachers will be able to communicate with you. And while you're on the Google Meet calls, we do ask that students follow some protocols just to help make sure that during that time you're engaging and getting the most out of that virtual class. One of the things that we ask our students to do is have their cameras on so that you can see the faces of your classmates and your teacher can see you, as we know that that is really important to be able to engage and build that relationship with your classmates and your teacher. You know, if you ever have any issues with maybe your internet or some things that create some difficulties there, definitely reach out to your teacher so we can work through that. You know, other things that we want is we encourage our students to have a space that helps them be able to be successful. So maybe you have a place in your house that is set up like a desk area, maybe kind of similar to an office or a place that you always go where you know that you're not going to be distracted, free from television, video games, and other things that may pull you away from being able to focus in the classroom. We also know that some of our learners may need to get up and move in order to stay engaged, and you are welcome to do that as long as you can maintain that engagement in the classroom. So our attendance policy, it looks a little bit different when we are in a virtual learning schedule. Our goal for attendance is to make sure that our students are participating in the learning process. And so what that means is our teachers will be providing activities and checkpoints and virtual classroom times for you to attend that will all be included into your attendance. So please reach out to your teachers if you have any questions about your specific attendance for that class. For our virtual classes, it's always an expectation that we want our students to attend those classes, just like we would want you to attend all of your classes when we are in person. We do know that the current circumstances definitely provide a little bit more difficulty and that you may have additional responsibilities to help younger siblings or other things in your home. When those things arise, what we ask you to do is to reach out to your teacher so that you can make sure you get all the information that you need. If there's something that is going to consistently be a conflict with one of your classes, definitely reach out to your teacher as well so we can make alternate arrangements to make sure you're getting the instruction you need to be successful. Okay. Another question I know some of our students have is regarding concurrent enrollment and the conflicts that that may have with our virtual schedule when we start school. So in a situation, if you have a conflict with one of your college classes and when some of your other classes are scheduled, that is where we would want you to reach out to your teacher to make alternate arrangements to make sure that you're getting all the material you need to be successful in that class. Our teachers are working to record all of the instruction and providing that as a resource on Canvas, so that way if you do miss something, you have the opportunity to go back and watch that same instruction again. I know there's also a lot of questions surrounding our fall sports. So at this time, we are continuing to move forward with our fall sports and will continue to adjust and make changes and updates as needed. So definitely stay tuned for information relevant to all of our fall sports. We've also had a couple of calendar changes as we have tried to enter into this school year. So this is the first week that our teachers have been back, and they have been working very hard to make sure that we are ready for the first day of school on the 24th to really provide that quality education to all of our students. And I know, definitely speaking to the teachers, one of the things that they really want to make sure to come across is that we continue to build those relationships with our classes and make everybody feel welcome and connected. And so please continue to reach out with questions and be looking for information for the first day of school.